This is Jonathan Hobbs on Death Shadow against Bryan Carey on Burn. Hobbs on the play as a second seed. Started with the Mishra's Bobble and is fetching for a Bloodstained Mire.
No Once Upon a Time on the first turn, which we do know is in Hobbs's list. It's one of the cooler additions to the deck, if you ask me.
2 copies of Twice Upon a Time featured in the deck.
Okay, buddy.
Finds a snow-covered swamp. Is going to cast Inquisition of Kozilek. The hand here looks like a 6. We have a fetch land and Eidolon on a great level. That one hid in the bin. Lava Spike, couple Swift Spears. I think it was a Rift Bolt otherwise. Inspiring Vantage was the draw. Cast the Monastery Swift Spear. Attacks Hobbs down to 18.
Now, Hobbs here are going to be looking to deploy something like a Tarmogoyf for a Death Shadow in a hurry, but in the meantime, going to be playing some disruptive spells along the way and cycling some baubles. Wants to do all this kind of stuff before Eidolon of the Great Revel hits the battlefield. Luckily, already stripped 1 from Carey. That is one of the better cards for Burn in the matchup.
Hobbs starts turn 2 with a Bobble as well. Uses another Inquisition to take care of the other Swift Spear. Leaves a couple 3-point burn spells in Carey's hand. Plays Verdant Catacombs and passes. So we know about second land, Rift Bolt, Lava Spike for Carey.
A lot of damage potentially coming across the next few turns, but the more damage Bryan Carey deals this turn, the larger the Death Shadow is going to be on the following turn.
Carey will play the Scalding Tarn. Lava Spikes Hobbs to 13 and attacks for 2. Hobbs to 11. Carey fetches a 19 and suspends the Rift Bolt.
And Hobbs without removal has to basically take the Swift Spear with the second discard spell.
Hobbs to 10, fetching up Stomping Ground. Third land's Nurturing Peatland. Goes to 9 for Tarmogoyf Death Shadow.
Yeah, but 3 from the Rift Bolt. I believe there's another burn spell in hand. So Carey basically just needs one more burn spell to shut it down.
There's a Tarmogoyf count there. It's a 6-7. It is large.
It is.
Rift Bolt puts Hobbs to 6. Carey passes.
Now, is Boros Charm and Searing Blaze in hand, so Boros Charm on the end step. Hobbs basically needs to win this turn unless Carey needs to draw a land or a burn spell.
Well, here's an attack for 13.
It's a lot.
Not a trivial amount of damage.
No, I think blocking here is the move.
One of the strengths you're seeing of Jund Death Shadow is Tarmogoyf, how quickly it gets online and it being larger than Gurmag Angler. One of the weaknesses as compared to Grixis Death Shadow, Hobbs won't have any stubborn denials. But he connects here. Looks like for the full 13, both players at 6. And Hobbs thinking about what to do for a follow-up. There is another Death Shadow in the hand. So here's Tarmogoyf. You can cast that one pain-free. And Hobbs will go to 5 to cast the other Shadow, but Carey just has Lethal Burn in hand. And it was actually Searing Blaze that no longer needed landfall with Hobbs at 5.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about casting that Death Shadow on top of the Tarmogoyf. I think you just got to pick one. I don't know. I mean, maybe Hobbs just wanted to cover from, X amount of stuff. I think he knew about the Searing Blaze and just basically couldn't beat Boros Charm no matter what, I guess. I don't know. That's tough.
If he doesn't take the extra damage, there's not that many draws that Carey can have that don't win, but there are some. Rift Bolt, for example.
Rift Bolt, I think Skewer the Critics. Land does it. I don't think another Swift Spear does it. Another Eidolon doesn't do it. There are quite a few, and a lot of them are creatures because he does play one blocker there, right? See, and you can't play creature plus Searing Blaze with only 2 lands and just the one card in hand.
So Bryan Carey up a game pretty quickly there. Hobbs going to try to battle back once again on the play, taking a mulligan though. Yeah, I definitely think this is going to be one of those matchups where you feel like you're downgrading playing Jund Shadow as opposed to Grixis. Really feeling the lack of counter spells.
I suppose, but Tarmogoyf is significantly easier to cast than Gurmag Angler, and you don't spin your wheels with Serum Visions and Thought Scour nearly as much. So you're not really as vulnerable to Eidolon. Of course, you do still play Street Wraith and a million discard spells and Mishra's Bobble, but I don't know. You have a lot more hands that are just, okay, this is my opening hand. This is what I have to work with. I don't need to sculpt with those other blue cards, you know.
Sure. Hobbs opens up on Nurturing Peatland, goes to 19 to cast an Inquisition. We see Boros Charm, Swift Spear, Lava Spike, and Rift Bolt hitting the bin. 3 lands otherwise.
All right, Hobbs here actually looks like he has a reasonable, just normal-ish Jund draw. Collective Brutality, Tarmogoyf, Liliana of the Veil, and another land in hand. I'm curious if he's going to just ignore a Death Shadow if he draws one and just rely on Tarmogoyf and Liliana to get the job done.
Lava Spike off of Mountain is Carey's first turn. Hobbs is 16. Shocks to 14 for Stomping Ground, 13 to cast Tarmogoyf.
I just want to point out how ridiculous it is that Carey just Lava Spiked instead of playing Swift Spear. He just sniffed out that Collective Brutality. Holy moly.
Yeah, that was a good navigation.
Now, if Carey here has a way to kill the Tarmogoyf, though, that could be really bad for Hobbs. And 3 damage instant does do it here.
Sunbaked Canyon's land number 2. Here comes the Swift Spear. Carey goes to 19 and casts a second. And he will attack with both. The Tarmogoyf just a 1-2, just sorceries in the graveyard.
Yeah, a little vulnerable to Street Wraith cycle, but without that, a safe block there.
A likely
safe
candidate
attack
for sideboarding out as well.
Correct. Hobbs here looks like he missed on the land for Liliana of the Veil, perhaps.
Going to 11. I imagine Collective Brutality will be the cast.
Yeah, and this is going to be a nice hit, and he's probably going to escalate at least to discard from hand, but might escalate twice to grow the Tarmogoyf and drain 2, and then maybe even start getting aggressive with the Tarmogoyf here.
Thoughtseize is one of the discards, and it looks like just 1 escalation. So 1 Swift Spear down, Boros Charm out of the hand, and just 2 lands left for Carey. Notably, 1 is a second Sunbaked Canyon, so he'll have some redraws, but he has a bit of work to do.
Yeah, but he did discard another sorcery. Tarmogoyf here is just sorcery creature instant, so it's not very big, and attacking here a little less desirable for him than playing defense against that Swift Spear. But Fatal Push in hand, as well as Liliana of the Veil perhaps coming at some point. Now he can kill the Swift Spear and start getting aggressive with this Tarmogoyf.
Carey draws and suspends Rift Bolt, plays the second Sunbaked Canyon and passes. And we'll see what Hobbs can do from here. Looks like Fatal Push among the holdings.
Could go Collective Brutality as a tempo play to basically smash the Swift Spear and drain for 2. I don't hate that. Discard Liliana of the Veil to grow the Tarmogoyf as well. So going up to a 4-5 with no land in the graveyard. So land of any sort being cracked here, either Sunbaked Canyon from Burn or the Nurturing Peatland from Hobbs, could increase the clock dramatically.
So that is the play. Use the Peatland to do it, and then Carey will use 1 Sunbaked Canyon to sack the other. At the end of that turn, life totals are 12 all. Inspiring Vantage is land number 3 for Carey. Passes to Hobbs. Bloodstained Mire, land number 3 on that side, finally hits it. The Tarmogoyf gained land, so now it's attacking for 5.
And Carey here found what looks like a skull crack, so he can send Hobbs to 6. Hobbs found a Traversal Overmold off the top, but probably doesn't want a Fetch Shock to cast it.
Not ideal. Attack here, put Carey down to 7. And we are getting an update. It looks like there's 2 Amulet Titan decks in the top 4, as Will Polium, also a winner in the quarterfinals.
So the problem I have with Fetch Shocking and playing Traversal Overmold here is that you're not actually casting the creature this turn, and you could just do it next turn and play a reasonable sized Death Shadow if you want. And that makes it so that you can clear out a blocker. You're also at 6, and you know that the opponent is a little light on spells, but Skullcrack here, sending Hobbs to 6. Boros Charm now drawn for the turn, and the Sunbaked Canyon to draw. So I'm curious if Hobbs here can find a way out. Bryan Carey has to get a little lucky, but not really. 2 draws effectively to see a burn spell.
Hobbs fetches the 5 end step after getting hit by that Skullcrack. Finds Overgrown Tomb tapped. But now just any additional point to go with that Boros Charm is what Carey needs.
Teamer Battle Rage off the top would win it for Hobbs right now. But without either of those things, he has to sweat a draw step and a Sunbaked Canyon from Carey.
Tarmogoyf comes in, puts Carey to 2. Second Tarmogoyf. And here's Boros Charm. Life totals are 1 to 2. Draw step for Carey. Creature doesn't do it. He'll cycle Sunbaked Canyon, and 2 creatures will. Double Goblin Guide and Bryan Carey, a 2-0 winner over Jonathan Hobbs.
I was